I like this case a lot. The whole repo business makes it just interesting.
Hooking up people's cars, you never know what they're going to come out and do.
It's pretty damn risky.
Tow truck drivers and repo men are a very special breed, especially here in Texas. They work in rough neighborhoods and they are always ready for a fight. But Jerry Humphrey could have never prepared for the way he was murdered.
Our victim, Jerry, he was a pretty tough guy. And he's, what, 5'9", 245? He's a big guy. So how does somebody like that end up being shot in the back of the head in his own bed?
Jerry worked nights and slept during the day. On the afternoon of December the 22nd, 2003, when his wife and young daughters were not at home, someone snuck in his house and shot him 3 times in the back of the head. There were no signs of forced entry, and there was no sign of any struggle.
3 shots to the head, that's somebody, in my opinion, that knows our victim. And that's why he's got to shoot him so many times, is because he knows he's rough and tough. There's no stranger on this deal.
There were no viable fingerprints or DNA left at the scene, so we're going to have to solve this case the old-fashioned way by talking to witnesses. But that's the challenge, because many in this town are so afraid of whoever they think might have killed Jerry, they won't even talk about it.
That whole record driver community, they all know each other, they all know the secrets, and what I'm hoping is time is going to help us on this, that those old alliances have broken down.
Yep.
It's going to be tough.
It has been 16 years and still no answer.
Police consider her killing a cold case.
Years later, the case is still unsolved.
I've chosen cold cases from across the country and teamed up with the best detectives to solve them. We're more determined than ever to bring justice to these victims. Feel like home?
It does.
Good morning.
Hello, hello.
Welcome.
I'm Abby.
Richard Ramirez.
Nice to meet you, sir.
How you doing?
How you
doing? Michael Ramirez.
Michael, nice to meet you,
Nice
sir.
to meet you.
So tell Abby about your connection to the case.
In 2003, I was a detective. Well, you know, as a detective, you have your career case. This is my career case. We just always needed that little push. And
Okay.
so we're excited to have y'all here.
All right, we'll follow you guys.
Come on in. This was my final uncleared homicide case, and it's always great to have another set of eyes and ears to look at cases like this because details can be picked up. 17 years, Jerry's sister, Rita. She's consistently called to check what's going on with this case. She gave me this photograph at the very beginning, and it's a picture of Jerry and his 2 girls. This picture stayed taped right next to my computer. It is important to me that this case be cleared for these 2 girls.
Do we have a copy of that picture, Jerry,
Yes,
that we
you
can
do.
put up on the board? Nice. All right. Jerry Humphrey. Jerry was how old when this happened?
40.
40 years old. Pretty young.
He was born in San Antonio area. Came out here sometime after that with his family.
Jerry Humphrey was, to me, a typical Texas boy. He liked the outdoors, he liked a rodeo, he loved his children, he loved his wife, and he's like a lot of guys that I grew up with.
His family, they're all kind of been in the repo business, so it was natural for Jerry to kind of be in that business as well, and him and his wife, Jody.
Is this Jody?
That is Jody.
So Jerry was working with all his in-laws and his wife.
Yes.
When Jerry and his wife Jody started their towing company in 2001, they enlisted Jody's parents, who lived right across the street from them, to help with the business. Jody's mom, Jan, worked in the office with her, and her dad, JD, was a part-time driver. It was a family business, and their business was booming.
Back in 2003, when this happened, walk us through the beginning.
The victim's father-in-law is the one that actually had called us. He'd gone over to wake Jerry up to come to work. That's when he found him non-responsive. So we get there, and it was Christmas time. There was a Christmas tree up. There was some gifts under the tree. You walk back to the back of the house is the bedroom that Jerry slept in. When I first walked in, it just looked like he was asleep in bed.
Jerry's autopsy revealed that he had been shot 3 times in the back of the head with a .357 or .38 revolver at close range. For a guy that you'd expect to sleep with one eye open, Jerry never knew what hit him.
The only person that was there when I got to the scene was JD, which is the father-in-law. He called his wife, and told her to tell Jody, you need to get to the house, something's happened here.
Does Jody come to the house?
Yes.
And how's she acting?
Maybe a little shaken. She was like hyperventilating.
Okay.
She gave us consent to search so we could process the scene. There was no forced entry, but it was also reported to us they frequently left the door unlocked. In fact, Jerry's truck was parked in the front of the house, unlocked, keys were in the floorboard. When we did a search of Jerry's truck, we found no weapons, even though people reported to us that there's supposed to be guns inside of that truck. One of the guns was reported to be a .38 caliber.
The missing firearms from Jerry's truck raised the possibility that he might have been shot with his own gun. And if Jerry's killer knew where to access his guns and his odd sleeping schedule, it suggests they knew him pretty well. And with married victims, you always start your investigation with the spouse.
Let's start with Jody first. They've been married for how long?
About 10 years at the time.
Do we know anything about domestic abuse?
Yes.
Yes,
Right.
that was present. She was being abused.
Witnesses say that Jerry and Jody had a pretty strained marriage, and some people say that Jody had even accused Jerry of abuse. Jody never filed a police report, but she told people that some of her bruises came from Jerry.
Jerry makes the comment to a family member that, I'm worth more dead than alive. If something happens to me, she'll be well off. During the investigation, when Chief Ramirez asked her about life insurance, she said no. However, we were able to show there's multiple policies through multiple different holders.
And who's the beneficiary if all that money ever gets paid out?
Jody.
Jody denied the approximately $400,000 of life insurance that she had on Jerry. The thing is, Jody was at work with her mom and her daughters the day of the murder, so if Jody is involved, then she might have gotten somebody else to help her. Okay, next we have Jody's father.
Yeah.
And what kind of guy is JD?
JD was an elderly man, but he's a tough guy.
He's the one that finds him. It makes sense. He just goes in there and pops him 3 times in the head and we're done.
He finds the body, hauls it in.
Jody was very much his baby. When he was asked about Jerry hurting your daughter, he wouldn't tolerate that.
JD passed away last year, but if JD thought Jerry was beating his daughter, that might have been the only motive he needed to kill him. And while it wasn't uncommon for JD to wake Jerry up for work, it also presented the perfect opportunity for him to get away with it.
Okay, so we're gonna put Jan up here too, huh? And y'all want her up here, why?
She was with Jody the day Jerry was killed.
Jan was Jody's confidant. Not only did they sit in the business every day together, working in the offices together, that's her mother. That's somebody who she trusts, somebody who she confides in.
The day of, Jan called somebody and said, don't come to work because Jerry's dead. He got popped in the back of the head.
She was like, don't come to work. They found Jerry dead. I was like, what the hell happened? And she was like, somebody went in the house and they plugged him a couple times.
How would she know that morning or that day? We didn't know it till 24 to 48 hours later when the autopsy.
Could Jody's parents have killed Jerry to protect her? And if so, did Jody know? Or is there a simpler solution to all this?
What's Angel's last name?
Amesqua.
He was actually their longest employee, but Jerry had fired him a week or so before this happened.
Angel Amesqua was a friend of Jody's and a driver for the company. Rumor has it that he and Jerry did not get along.
The reason Angel was fired the last time by Jerry is because Jerry got wind that Angel's girlfriend was 14 years old, and he did not like the close relationship that Angel had with his 8-year-old daughter, and he was concerned Angel was grooming her for something else, and so he fired him.
Okay. Angel's firing might have given him a motive, especially if Angel thought that Jerry was going to turn him into the police. As it turns out, when Jerry was murdered, the investigation exposed Angel's relationship with a 14-year-old girl, which led to him going to prison for 5 years as a sex offender. Today, Angel is out of prison and back at work at the tow company with Jody and Jan. So we've got all of our suspects under one roof. And with multiple motives and the possibility that more than one of them is covering for each other, we have our work cut out for us. Jerry's daughters were only 5 and 8 years old when he was murdered. Sadly, because the daughters and Jody are still estranged from Jerry's family, for now we don't plan on approaching Jerry's daughters.
Hello, ladies.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
Kelly.
Hey, Kelly. Rita Humphrey.
It has been Jerry's sister, Rita, who's been the one most determined to get justice on this case, and she is who we plan on talking to today.
Can you tell us a little bit about Jerry?
He was everything. We were very close. I mean, he was fun, loving, and we rode motorcycles, hunting, camping, you know, family man. Jerry loved his kids.
Do you have any relationship with those girls today?
Oh, she refuses to let us have a relationship with him.
So nothing.
I mean, it's like the instant that my brother got killed, we're just like all died too. Since Jerry's death, my entire family has had a extremely hard time. My mom and dad both passed away not getting closure. And none of us have been the same.
How did Jerry and Jody meet?
He had met her at the Fort Bend Fairgrounds. She was young. I think she was 19 years old, got married, and then started having kids. And then they actually moved to the house directly across the street from the Grays.
Where everything happened?
Yes, yes.
And at what point did this marriage, did it ever go bad?
The Angel Amescu situation is what tipped all this over. It was November of '03. Jerry said, I have an issue with Angel. He's like he's fooling around with a 14-year-old girl.
And so Jerry fired Angel because of that?
Jerry beat Angel up.
Okay.
Jerry told him to stay away from his family and his business. And I know that for a fact.
According to Rita, a few weeks before the murder, Jerry not only fired Angel, he assaulted him. It's too early to know if that incident may have prompted Angel to kill Jerry in retaliation, but it is interesting that Angel got his old job back.
Our crime scene is pretty much just confined to the bedroom, huh?
This is a small, tight, confined area that we're going to take a look at. Even though it's not the exact location, it's a similar bedroom. But I think it's going to really help us have a feeling for just how tight everything was in there.
To solve Jerry Humphrey's murder, we're going to need to talk to every witness, examine all the evidence, and confront all of our suspects with everything that we learn. Our first stop is the crime scene.
Got us a place, huh?
Got a place.
We may not have any fingerprints or DNA, but you can still learn a lot about a killer by examining how they committed the crime.
This particular room right here, Kelly, will actually give you a feel about the type of room or space in which Jerry was in when he was killed. Jerry had his back towards the side of the wall with his left ear on the pillow. The shooter would have had to get pretty close to Jerry, considering the wall, based on what we're seeing in the wounds and the ME report. The shooter would have gotten this close to Jerry, pointing to the backside of his head and fired 3 rounds into him as he slept.
Because the shots were fired at such close range, you're going to have a lot of backspatter from the victim. And one thing in crime scene photos that we noticed was there's also a void in the spatter that shows that somebody was standing there.
Body size or littler?
Body size, the width of
body
a
size.
Big old void?
Yeah.
Blood spatter evidence can not only show you where the victim was, but can also tell you where the suspect was. In this case, when Jerry's killer fired the gun, blood sprayed back against the line of fire. This created a back spatter stain on the wall and the killer. When they left the scene, they left behind what's known as a void pattern, showing us where they were standing when Jerry was killed.
You have to be awfully confident of yourself that you could get in that tight squeeze without waking that bear of a man up in bed. You got him in between you and the door.
And along this wall next to this gun cabinet were rifles and shotguns. So Jerry was prepared to defend himself if necessary.
Wonder why the shooter didn't shoot him from that side.
It is surprising.
Right.
Except for one thing. Cowardly didn't want to shoot him in the face, want to shoot him in the back of the head. It takes guts to shoot somebody straight in the face.
Even if they're asleep.
Yeah.
Even if they're asleep.
In my experience, you only see the victim shot in the face when it's a gunfight or a crime of passion. But Jerry's murder seemed planned, because not only did his killer know where there was an accessible and disposable handgun in his truck, they navigated this dark bedroom in such a way it suggests they may have known their way around the house.
I think it went very quickly. I'm talking 5 seconds.
Okay.
Your bad guy's got his pistol, he comes in, 1, 2, 3, 4, bang, 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 and then he's out.
That's fast, though.
You got people who live across the street, people are going to hear that gunshot. He's got to do his thing and get out and disappear.
The other thing, if JD's not our shooter, then where was JD and why didn't he hear it or see anything?
Jerry's father-in-law, JD, lived right across the street, yet he claimed he did not hear any gunshots before coming over to the house that day to wake up Jerry. So was this because of JD's age, or was he maybe covering up his own or somebody else's actions?
All right, let's roll.
This is the fun part where we get to kind of run around and put things together.
It's also the part where we have no control.
That's what makes it fun.
It's time to talk to witnesses, and we need to track down as many as we can.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Yeah, Lieutenant Garcia, this is...
My name's Abby. Nice to meet you, sir.
My name's Michael Ramirez. I'm a sergeant with the Stafford Police Department.
The world of our suspects is kind of rough and sketchy, and that's why people have been afraid to talk. Hopefully, after 17 years, they'll be more willing to tell us what they know.
Don't worry, don't worry.
You're not in any trouble. We're investigating a case from 2003.
Yes.
ma'am.
We reopened the Jerry Humphrey case.
Oh.
The reason why I'm calling is because I want to talk to you about Jerry. You remember that pretty decently?
Not really.
Apparently, you heard some rumors.
No.
You never heard any rumors
No.
by anybody?
I know y'all's relationship with the Humphreys was very
slim.
Sure.
Well, it was for sure for me.
You remember a few years back you talked to Detective Ceballos?
No.
You don't remember talking to him?
No.
Really?
I'm not holding anything back. I don't remember that.
The number or code you have dialed is incorrect.
Of course it is.
Chris Plummer's dead. Okay.
He is?
Mm-hmm. He got killed when?
You know what? I'm not gonna answer no more of your questions, bro.
Why not? That's it.
So far, it's a bust. Our witnesses are either dead, don't know anything, have bad memories, or are too scared to talk with us.
We didn't need to continue down that road and have her just not remember
anything.
But sometimes, especially in a circumstantial case, witnesses don't realize that what they know is very relevant. That's why, as an investigator, you got to keep trying to pry it out.
All I remember was there was a male that worked for their repo company.
Okay.
Those two seemed like they were in a relationship.
Who? Jody and
That worked for him. I don't know. I don't remember his name. They were screwing around or something way before Jerry's death.
Every time I see him, they would be laughing and joking and stuff like that, like so friendly like that, you know.
Police have heard rumors that Jody was cheating on Jerry before. If that's true, it's possible that that could have played a part in Jerry's murder.
you were having a relationship with Jody, correct? How long did that last, man?
It wasn't very long. A few months.
Other than her husband, do you remember Jody going to get rooms with her and another male?
Yeah.
You do remember that? How often or how many times did that happen?
Maybe 2 or 3 at most.
2 or 3 times?
We've confirmed rumors that Jody was having affairs with 2 other men. Those men were cleared as suspects right away. But it makes you wonder if the beating that Jerry gave Angel was about more than Angel's underage girlfriend. Maybe Jerry suspected that Jody was sleeping with Angel too.
This is one of the things I heard, that Jody hired Angel. That Angel was the one that killed him. That's what was being said in the record world, that how true that is, I don't know.
Seems like his brother's going to know a lot more first-hand information.
He's going to have a lot of first-hand.
Because they were close.
Yeah.
We've still got 4 suspects in the 2003 murder of Jerry Humphrey. His wife, Jody, her parents, Jen and J.D., and his former employee, Angela Mescua.
Kenneth, can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir.
We've spoken to Jerry's sister, but now we want to talk to his brother, Kenny. Hopefully he can shed some light on our theories that either J.D. or Angel pulled the trigger, and the possibility that either Jan or Jody asked them to.
What is your knowledge regarding the relationship between Jody and your brother?
Well, when they first got married, everything seemed to be working out for them. They went into a business. They were making quite a bit of money. 2002, my brother came to me and told me that there was a significant amount of money missing, $100,000 missing. And in October of 2003, they told me that there was another $50,000 missing out of their account.
So who was doing the books back then?
Everything in the office was done by Jan and Jody.
A few months before the murder, Jerry realized that about $150,000 was missing from his tow company. Because it was a cash-heavy business, it's hard for us to trace those transactions, but it sure supports the idea that if either Jan or Jody was taking money from the company without Jerry knowing, this could be a financially motivated murder.
Did your brother ever tell you that Jody was having an affair on him?
Yeah, he suspected her of having an affair. He told me that he went by the office and all the lights were out. And the driveway had a locked gate, so he made noise there, and they turned the lights on, and they came out. And he told me when they came out, Angel was basically getting dressed in the parking lot.
What did he say he did after that?
They confronted him and asked him about it, and, you know, my brother didn't expect to get that, but he said he had already suspected this was going on.
According to Kenny, Jerry was convinced he caught Jody sleeping with Angel. That gives the fight between Jerry and Angel a whole new context, and it gives a whole new motive and meaning to a reason why Angel might want Jerry dead. Between the alleged abuse, the affairs, the missing money, it feels like everything in Jerry's whole life was coming to a boil.
My brother told me that he was going to take the girls and he was going to separate from her. He was going to fire Angel, fire the mom, and take Jody out of the business.
Last time I talked to her on the phone, she was very, I wouldn't say apprehensive, but you can tell it rattled her.
According to the case file, Jody had a falling out with a close friend shortly after the murder. That's odd because most of the time, friends console each other after a tragedy. That falling out might be a clue that the friend knows something relevant.
Hi. Sorry to drop in on you like this. I'm Lieutenant Garcia with Stafford PD, looking into this case a little bit more, and hopefully we can find some justice in this matter, you know. Did Jody confide in you about her relationship with Jerry a lot? Like when she'd had problems and talked?
She said they argued, but who doesn't? I didn't think anything of it. I stayed out of that whole thing. Like, that was between them.
Was Jody thinking about leaving him?
I guess. I don't really remember. I mean, that was so long ago, I don't really remember. All I know is one time she did ask me if I knew somebody that could take care of her husband. I was shocked. I was like, are you serious right now?
According to this witness, Jody asked her if she knew someone who would take care of her husband. That sounds like more than a joke. It sounds like solicitation.
She mentioned money, but I told her I don't remember what I told her. You know, you get taken aback when somebody asks you something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've all had arguments with our spouses, but we don't get down to the, hey, do you know anybody that would...
No. Oh, heck no. No, never.
And then your whole thing was just get away from them after that.
Yes. I called him, and I was like, let's go. And he was like, all right. He was like, I agree, let's go.
The falling out between Jody and this witness makes a lot more sense now. And the case against Jody just got a whole lot stronger.
Oh, man.
That'll work.
Yes, sir.
We don't know if Jody ever found a hitman. We don't know if one of our other suspects may have offered to help, but we might have just found a clue out of one of our suspects' own mouths.
So we've been talking a couple of times this week about tapes that y'all are the most interested in that are jail calls. Let's play those.
Months after Jerry's murder, Angel's relationship with his underage girlfriend came to light, and he ended up going to prison for sexual assault of a child. While in prison, his phone calls were recorded.
This jail call was concerning Angel's truck. Angel was paying for it when he got locked up, but Angel's mother wanted that truck back because it was in her name and she didn't want to be blamed for anything. Angel's sister got involved, Nina. This does not make Angel happy. This is a copy of that jail call.
This call may be recorded or monitored.
What the you doing? You ain't know what the I'm doing. You with me? I'm with your family, bitch.
I'm telling you.
You think I'm playing with you,
I'm telling you, the truck is not here.
You ain't family. I'm telling you now.
Oh, you're threatening me?
Yeah, I don't give a
Threatening me just like you did Jerry?
Huh?
Just like you did Jerry?
Shut the up,
Don't yourself. Don't yourself.
Angel threatened to kill his own sister and his own family, and his sister immediately brought up Jerry. She either suspected he killed Jerry or she knew.
After that phone call took place, Angel reached out back to the record yard and was able to get a hold of Jody. Here's a copy of that jail call.
This call may be recorded or monitored.
Hey.
Man, your sister tripped all out on me, Angel.
I know, man. I was tripping on her.
You didn't tell him, did you?
Nah.
Okay, so what did your sister say? Like, she said that you did it or something?
Yep.
So what did you tell her?
So shut the up.
Oh, this is like messed up.
It's pretty telling that right after Angel hung up from talking with his sister, he called Jody. And while that doesn't prove all by itself that Angel killed Jerry, I think it kind of shows we're on the right track.
It's just stunning that they hear, and this call will be recorded and they keep on talking. They're home, I think. That's a nice truck. She should be home.
Yeah.
We've heard that Jody Humphrey was looking for a hitman to kill her husband, Jerry. And we've heard a prison call that sounds like her employee and alleged lover, Angela Mescua, might have taken the job. Now we want to talk with Angel's sister, Nina.
Hi, Nina. How are you?
Nina has spoken to the police before about being threatened by Angel. And from that prison call, we know that she may have suspected him for Jerry's murder. If she knows anything more concrete about Angel's involvement, we need to know.
On December 22nd, 2003, Jerry Humphrey was killed.
Okay.
And you were questioned by Detective Ramirez back then.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Were you not questioned at all?
I don't think so. I don't remember that.
So there is a recorded conversation that I listened to between you and Angel while he was in jail. And he got mad and he did say that if you keep with me, I'm going to kill you. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
No.
She can play with you, huh?
I'm telling you, the truck is not here.
I'll kill you and you family. I'm telling you that.
You made the statement in reply, oh, the way you did Jerry. Do you remember making that comment?
No, I do not.
Well, I have the recording at the PD. You want to come by and listen to it?
Well, it's hard because I got 6 kids.
Are they all here right now?
No, I only have one that's sneaking.
Okay. So you don't remember exactly that conversation
No.
you had where you asked them like you did Jerry?
Nope, I don't.
Nina doesn't remember anything, or at least that's what she's telling us.
I don't want to be involved in any of this. I don't.
Neither did Jerry.
You know, and I'm sorry for that person.
Well, don't be sorry for him. Be sorry for his kids.
I'm not like a good whatever you're looking to get. Not because I don't got no information.
You never expect a family member to turn on their own, but Nina's not even pretending to want to help.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate your time.
Maybe she's scared of her brother. Before we approach our suspects, we have one last witness. A man who's bravely come forward with information who could be a huge help to this case. Because from what we've heard, he may be an eyewitness. The question is, what exactly did he see?
First, I appreciate you coming in to talk to us about this. We've been looking at it for quite some time. Quite some time.
Yeah.
So I want to take you back to the day of the incident that Jerry was killed.
See, man, I'll be honest with you, it went through my mind over the years because I remember it like it was yesterday. I passed Jerry's house and I see somebody outside by the record. And when he turned his head, he just only saw like a portion of his face, but I could have sworn it was Angel. It was him right there in front of the house.
What side of the truck? Was he on the passenger side or the driver's side?
Driver's side.
He was on the driver's side of the truck?
Driver's side. The truck door's open.
The truck door was open.
Yeah.
High five.
Yeah.
Angel claims that he was nowhere near Jerry's house that day, but this witness puts Angel right by Jerry's truck, right by where the gun went missing that we think was used to kill Jerry. What a fantastic witness.
You feeling good?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yes.
That was great.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all go home and study up. We'll hit it tomorrow.
Do it, right? All right.
All right.
We wanted to tow yard, brother.
See how that goes.
It's time to confront our suspects. JD passed away, so that leaves Jody, her mom, Jan, and Angel.
Good right there, man? You good?
Yeah. I'll make it work.
Our hope is to interview them individually and simultaneously so they can't prepare their stories. So while Mike and Kelly track down Angel, we're headed to the towing office for Jody and Jan. The plan is to split them up and try to catch them in inconsistencies or lies that implicate themselves or each other.
Hello. Hi. How you doing, ma'am? Good. Doing good, and you are?
Jan.
Hey, Jan, how you doing? Lieutenant Garcia, the City of Stafford Police Department.
Okay.
Is Jody in? No. She's not in today?
She'll be back.
Okay.
I'm her mother.
You got a moment to talk with me for a second? Excellent, excellent. Okay.
Jody's not here, but Jan is. This creates a problem for us. We can't pass up the opportunity to talk to her. But if we're too confrontational, she could warn Jody not to talk to us.
Right now, what I'm doing is I'm actually investigating Jerry's murder.
My name is Abby. Could I ask you, how come you guys have never called the police to find out what the latest is on the case?
You know, I mean, I don't know. It was like, leave well enough alone. It's like we just went into this huddle.
Aw,
You know,
I'm
I mean,
sorry
it's
to
been
hear that.
terrible.
I bet. It had to have been tough for a woman who lost her husband and had to do all this by herself. They had a whole future together, huh?
Yeah, but let me just tell you, Jerry was not a good person.
Oh, he wasn't? He must be thirsty.
My mouth is so dry.
Oh, I'm sorry. So have you guys stayed in touch with this Angel guy?
He still works.
He still does. When is he coming to work?
Sometimes he don't show up. So it's hard to say.
Jan's answering our questions, but she seems a little uncomfortable, and I'm not sure that she wants to help. I think it's time we back off and try for a bigger fish.
We'll swing back and chat with Jody. Thank you very much for talking with us. I appreciate it. I'm very sorry for your loss. I know
Yeah, but
it's
you know
got.
what? Y'all make, like me, y'all make me nervous.
Oh, well, we're pretty easygoing guys. I apologize for that. Sorry for making you nervous. Thank you. I like when she said we made her nervous. If we were any more polite, syrup would have dripped off of us.
Who are you going to ask for when we pull up here? Angel?
I won't be surprised if Angel answers his door. I won't be surprised if Angel answers his door.
While Henry and Abby are waiting for Jody Humphrey to return to the office, Mike and I are going to go out and try and find Angel Amescua. If we have any luck, we can find Angel alone, and hopefully he'll answer some questions about Jerry's murder.
Hello? God dang, it can't be nobody home. That's bullshit. Jody's out running errands, Angel's not home.
Angel's not home. I'm wondering if Jan might have given Jody and Angel the heads up that we've started to look into this case again. We need to act fast because we have to try and catch Angel off guard, so we need to call.
Hello? Hey, Angel?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, bud? My name is Mike Ramirez. I'm a sergeant with the Stafford Police Department. How you doing today?
Good.
Hey, I'm calling, man, because I'm reviewing a case from a while ago, and I was wondering if maybe you had time to come in and talk to me real quick.
About what?
About a case I'm investigating. You have time today?
I can call you back.
You want to give me a call back?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, give me a call back, and we'll be available whenever you are.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Nice job. Nice try. What do you think he's going to do?
He's calling Jody right now.
If she hadn't already called him. You think he's going to be calling you back?
Hell no.
That'd be a no. That'd be a no.
Well, we tried, but with Angel's history with law enforcement, that was always going to be a long shot. Hopefully, Henry and Abby have better luck with Jody.
How you doing? Hey, what's going on, man? Angel, how you doing? Jody, how you doing?
What do you know? We've got Jan, Jody, and Angel in the same room at the same time. This is going to be tricky.
If you don't mind, I just had some easy questions that I wanted to ask. You know, there was a lot of speculation that somebody was trying to burglarize the house, but then the doors were unlocked. There were a lot of guns in there.
They never locked our doors.
Yeah?
Never locked our doors.
Angel, did you work with him back then? What was your opinion?
He's good. Never no issues with him or anything like that? When you heard about Jerry's death, how'd that make you feel, man? I mean, y'all being friends and all.
At that time, I wasn't working here.
Oh, okay.
Then I came back to work after he passed away.
So you stopped working here?
Yeah, for like maybe 2 months.
Oh, okay.
Did they just not have the business for you to work here, or how come
No.
you stopped working?
Oh, I stopped because I just didn't want. I get tired of it.
Burned out.
Angel's denying that he had a conflict with Jerry, and that eventually was fired, and Jan and Jody aren't correcting him. Is that because it's true, or because they're all on the same team?
We were told by some folks that the reason Jerry fired you is because you were having sex with an underage girl, and then after his death, you get hired back here.
No.
Is that not true?
I was still he didn't fire me.
Okay.
I just said, you know what, I won't work no more.
Yeah.
So he said, all right, he just left.
Jody, I want to tell you what we've been told. We've interviewed a lot of people, and what we were told is that you and Angel were having an affair and that you guys were responsible for the death. So, I mean, I'm just telling you what I was told.
Ever, and would never do that.
I hate to ask you this question. Could there have been other men that you had affairs with while you were married to Jerry?
Jerry and I had our problems, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
Okay. We've also heard stories that you took out all of these insurance policies on him. Is any of that true? Like $500,000 worth of insurance?
It was nowhere near $500,000.
Were there a series of them, Credit Life and a bunch of other ones? Were there 3 or 4 insurance policies on him?
No, I think it was just the one.
We talked to a lot of people who said that you had said, did they know anybody that would kill Jerry? Is any of that true?
No.
Ever joke around about it?
No.
Okay.
Jody's denying everything. An affair, the life insurance, and trying to hire someone to kill him. I'm not too surprised, but I did think she might say she was only joking.
Had you ever been in his house?
Yeah.
In his bedroom?
No.
We used to have meetings at night.
Every
before the
night,
drivers went out.
all the drivers would be
They
inside.
would all come in there and
Okay.
they drink
They'll
tea
get all the
and whatever.
paperwork, and from there we'll take off.
Right, right. I see.
But never in the bedroom.
Never in the bedroom.
Never in the bedroom.
Okay. On the day of his death, December 22nd, were you in the yard by his truck like 10 o'clock in the morning on that day?
Nope.
So if somebody saw you there, they're full of crap. Okay.
Angel's denying that he was at Jerry's house on the day of the murder, but he did reveal that he is familiar with the inside of the house, just like we thought the killer was.
Is there anything else you could tell us that would help us with this?
I hope you find the proper person.
Oh, we will.
So I have to be dealing with it.
Yeah. Trust me, we will. We'll get it. You guys have a good day. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, be like you when I grow up.
I apologize for
No,
being
man,
so
awesome.
full of crap.
Awesome. I saw it come out of you, man.
Credibility out the window. Angel, the most innocent man I ever met
in the
my
world,
life.
isn't he?
Everybody doing him wrong. Looked right at us. Said
No affairs.
No affairs. No insurance policy. I think I had one.
I can call.
We didn't get much out of our suspects, but every inconsistency is evidence, and I think we have enough.
You'd be a fly on that wall right now.
Okay, guys, I think we found all the witnesses we needed to find, and we got our board up there.
It's time for us to review everything that we've uncovered in our investigation to figure out what we think versus what we can prove in court.
In preparation for your DA meeting, let's break it down.
Jerry had suspected Jody of infidelity, theft. She's got more to gain by him being dead than alive because she can maintain control of this business.
My brother told me that he was fixing to take the girls and he was going to separate from her. He was going to fire Angel, fire the mom, and put Jody out of the business.
Plus, you got Jody throwing it out there. Hey, do you know anybody that might want to kill my husband? That's not a conversation that you normally have with folks.
He just asked me if I knew somebody that could take care of her husband.
She lied about the insurance policy.
You know what I loved about that interview, too? She said, no, we never lock our doors, and at the same time, Angel and Mesco exclaimed, never.
They never locked our doors.
Yeah.
Never.
We have witnesses putting Angel at the time.
At the time, during our
of the murder.
window, and lo and behold, where did he last see Angel?
By the truck where the gun is missing.
Yes.
He's only saw like a portion of his face, but I could have swore it was Angel.
So then, for purposes of your case right now against who's involved in the murder of Jerry Humphrey, what do y'all think about JD?
He may have come aware of some issues in the family, but you know what I think? I think they did a pretty good job of keeping JD in the dark.
It's strange that JD lived right across the street and never heard any gunshots that day. But he was over 80 years old, and he has always been cooperative with law enforcement.
May he rest in peace.
JD is not alive anymore, but even if he were, we did not find any evidence that JD was involved.
And now we're left with Jan, her mother, Jody, and Angel.
We believe that Jody was possibly involved, maybe even Jan. But right now, the best evidence, an eyewitness account, is there against Angel. So the plan right now is to focus on Angel with the hope that one day the DA's office can file charges on other suspects.
Y'all got all this fresh in your brains for the DA meeting?
Absolutely. Yep, I think we're ready to go.
How do you stand when you're giving up the fight?
How y'all feeling, boys?
I think the meeting with the DA went really well. Excited to move forward with the case.
Well, I don't know if you're used to having to present your cases so well prepared and smoothly, but y'all are good. That was a good presentation.
We met with District Attorney Brian Middleton and Assistant DA Mark Hanna, and now we have good news to share with Jerry's sister, Rita.
You don't get to do this every day, do you?
No.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, right.
It's news that she and Chief Ramirez have been waiting for a long time.
Right.
Hi, Rita.
Good seeing you again.
Hello. Oh, it was a busy week.
I bet.
Well, we met with the DA today.
Mm-hmm.
We presented the case to him, and the district attorney's office has agreed to move forward with charges against Angel Lemesqua.
Awesome. I knew y'all was going to get it done.
Did you
I
really?
already knew it was coming.
You felt that good. That's nice.
I already knew it was coming. I'm beyond excited. When I honestly got the phone call, I just knew in my heart that it was going to get resolved and something actually was going to get done now. My mother and my dad that are watching down, they knew it was coming. Jerry deserves this.
Justice. Not closure. I don't believe in closure, but justice. It's been a long road.
I tell you what, Rita is one tough lady, and she's the one that's been kicking and screaming for 17 years to get this case brought forward. If it ever goes to trial, Rita's going to be sitting there on the front row. She's going to make sure that Jerry's story gets told and that her brother gets justice.
You ready to get to work? Keep it going.
Take care of yourself, okay?
Wow.
Angel.
On March 25th, 2020, Angel Lemesqua was arrested by the Stafford Police Department for the murder of Jerry Humphrey.